I'm sorry this is coming to you so late. My life is a little bit chaotic right now. Between spinning plates, I've also been struggling with what I want to talk about this month. I finally decided I'm going to hit both of my two high priority topics, and if it goes a little bit long, it goes a little bit long. The first topic that's at the forefront of my mind is Black History Month. I am definitely not the most knowledgeable person to talk about the inequalities that exist in our education system, or employment, or even general opportunity, but I do happen to know a lot about obesity and nutrition and quite a bit about the medical establishment as a whole. And I will tell you that without a doubt, Black and Latina people get the short stick in our country when it comes to these areas. Although rates of obesity and chronic disease are frighteningly high in all populations in this country, they are more prevalent and more severe in our Black communities. To make it worse, access to medical care and health outcomes are worse. Access to healthy food is more limited. It's unfair all the way around. And what makes me most angry is that corporate America takes advantage of this. Junk food advertising disproportionately targets Blacks, especially Black youth. It's almost criminal when you look at it. Here's a population that's already disadvantaged from a health and nutrition standpoint, and yet a majority of the advertising dollars go to marketing to this demographic. Big Food deliberately targets the children and the adults that need better access to healthy foods, not easier access to the very foods that are making them sicker. If you want to keep a group of people from soaring, one of the best ways to do it is to keep them sick. It makes me crazy angry. I always say you can't change something until you understand it. Change starts with understanding. I obviously don't have the influence in this world to change the whole food system, but someday maybe. The second thing I want to talk about is Valentine's Day. This is yet another food-centric holiday in a long line of food-centric holidays that pretty much exists all year round anymore. When I ask patients about upcoming challenges to their healthy eating baseline, so many mention this upcoming holiday. Now, I might be less sentimental than the average American woman, but even during those times of my life, when I was in that new relationship, exciting, roses on Valentine's Day kind of mode, Valentine's Day was still a few hours of a day. A few hours of one day surrounded by 27 other non-holiday days in the month of February. Turning this holiday into a days-long or week-long or month-long sugar-laden indulgent holiday is taking it a bit far. If you've been with me for a while, you know I hit this topic every fall or early winter as people tell me that they just can't eat well in October because it's Halloween, or in December because it's the holidays. This entire concept is crazy. I'm sure Big Food loves it. If they can convince you that every month is a holiday and that you need to consume their holiday-themed crap all month, every month, they win. We need to be smarter than that. We need to be much more intentional about the way that we define what is and what is not a holiday. We need to wake up and avoid getting sucked into marketing nonsense. Valentine's Day is one day. Even for the most romantic, it's really only a part of a day. Most of us go to work or school or do whatever we do normally during the day on Valentine's Day. We might go do something special that evening, and if that day is special to you and you want to include it on your list of days that are worthy of indulging, it should be limited to one meal. If it isn't, I challenge you to take a step back and assess the way that you define your celebrations and indulgences, and whether you are being specific about those that are worthy of eating something less than healthy, if you have healthy boundaries around those things or not. The other thing relevant to this topic that has been weighing heavily on my mind is love languages. If you haven't read about the 5 main love languages that people have, it's definitely worth skimming, at least superficially. It actually can be a game changer in relationships to know someone's love language and to be able to tell those people that your love language is what it is. There are about 1 million books and websites and apps that dive deeply into this topic, so I'm not going to summarize it here. But if you dive in, or if you are already aware of the idea already, I want you to explore whether or not junk food or unhealthy food in general is your love language. It's not one of the official ones. But I can tell you how many people I talk to that use junk food, usually sugar, as their love language. They buy someone candy and stick it on top of a birthday gift. They bake someone cookies when they know they are sad. They show up at work with donuts when they know someone has a stressful day planned. They deliberately keep junk food stocked in the house so that their kids and their kids' friends want to be there instead of somewhere else. They send a cookie bouquet when someone has a baby. Does this sound familiar? I hear it all the time from my patients. They struggle with implementing healthy food choices at home because they have made a pattern of using unhealthy foods with their family, and they worry about what their family will think if they change them. They have equated the dispensing of sugar as a way of demonstrating love, or understanding, or sympathy. They tell me that they have to keep these things around. They have to bake for their family, or friends, or neighbors, that it's something that cannot be changed. Most people get a little bristly when I challenge these types of statements, which is okay with me. Part of my role in life is to challenge people just a little bit in hopes that it makes them think. But other times when I bring up the topic, I can watch the wheels turning and they can get a little apologetic, which isn't my intent. Nobody owes me anything, but it makes me happy to at least get people to think about this relationship with food. If the way that you show love is by using food as the vehicle, or it's how you receive love, it's going to be a big struggle to change your overall eating pattern. Just something to think about, right? I hope you are all enjoying this brief spring weather and getting some vitamin D. Natural sunlight and fresh air are both incredibly therapeutic, physically and mentally, especially this time of year when they are both so difficult to come by. So make it a point to grab a few minutes of each while they are here. See you soon.